Welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Jacksters. That's Jacksters, no idea if that's how he prefers it pronounced, but that's what it looks like to me. And he's driving the A43 on a standard battle on the Tundra. A43 being a tier 6 medium tank for the Russians. So this one is pretty fast and furiously paced, so we're just going to get straight into the action. As you can see, the platoon here of the 3 medium tanks heading all the way over to the left-hand flank. You may recognise the name of Baby Wild there in the VK3002M. I'm fairly certain that I've featured one of his replays before. So the 3 of them are going to be heading over to the left-hand flank, which is where the medium tanks normally take to on this map, and they're going to be pushing all the way down. Taking a little bit of refuge behind these rocks, just allowing his allies to catch up a little bit. It looks like the other A43 is lagging behind a little bit. Maybe he wasn't quite on the same page with the plan. But these 2 medium tanks are just relentlessly pushing forward now. Takes a quick hit from an enemy A43 there. But he's able to get himself into cover behind some rocks here. And again, just going to wait for his allies to push up a little bit further. Except it looks like they have slowed down a little bit. But nope, going to come and offer some support now. So Jackster's going to take this opportunity to push a little bit farther up the hill. Looks like there isn't really any enemy tanks here at the moment. Only got this A43 here, but judging by his hit points, he's not fully upgraded because he's only got 660 hit points as opposed to Jackster's 730. Again, just allowing a little bit of time for his allies to come forward. Gets a good hit into the side of that A43 and another one as he pops himself out. Looks like the enemy A43 may have a better rate of fire, but Jackster's definitely has the penetration and the alpha damage on him. Takes out that guy and picks up kill number 1 pretty quickly. Artillery shells landing, but they're not doing a very good job of hitting anybody. And the allies here are going to be taking to the hill. Normally you do find some tank destroyers up here, but if you have a look at the enemy team, they're a little bit thin on the tank destroyer front. Does spot out a Panzer III here. He takes a shell from somewhere, but that one's not quite landed flush. Now it's going to be the opportunity to flank around behind them. So because the enemy team is pretty light on the old tank destroyers, they're not really coming up with much opposition here. Is having a few shots at this Panzer III here as he drives past. Sees that the Panzer III just definitely doesn't have the turret traverse to keep on target there, and Jackster's just able to take him out in short order. Baby Wild actually picked up that kill. Now they're going to square off against the Cheeto here. Jackster's heading to the left-hand side as Baby Wild comes in from the front. Cheeto deciding that he's not going to bother traversing his turret all the way around. In fact, not even sure he knows what he's going to do. Can't decide who to shoot at, and in the end, doesn't shoot at anybody and just gets himself taken out. So the Allies doing a great job so far of just overrunning the enemy team. Now going to be heading up to the hill at A0 and B0, just going to see who they can find out. There was an Su-85 up there, so we're going to see if this guy is still up there. And like I said, normally you'd get a couple of tank destroyers and maybe a heavy tank camping in this location, but because there aren't many tank destroyers for the enemy team, then there really isn't anybody here. This Su-85's already taken off. At least he was somewhat situationally aware, realised that the flank was going to be overrun by medium tanks pretty quickly, so he just made off for the hill there because the enemy team has at least handily won that battle on the hill. The score's pretty even at the moment at 6-7. Allies actually losing by 1 kill at the moment, but they really do have the positional advantage. The enemy team is on the hill, but I don't think they realise that there's tanks coming from behind them. This Su-85's dawdled around for just a little bit too long, and he gets set on fire and taken out now by Jacksters for kill number 3. And the rest of the enemy team is squaring off against the enemy, well, the allied team to the front of them, and don't even realise that there are medium tanks behind them. Jackson's just going to take all the time in the world to put shots into the rear of this Churchill 3, who is too busy shooting at the allied team to be able to get his gun on target to try and do some damage to Jackster's. Looks like he's just got his finger held down on the mouse button because he's just firing continually and not hitting anything. Now it's just going to be a case of trying to take out this Churchill 1. One more shot should be enough to take him out. Nope, that one bounces. Well, actually, that wasn't Jackster's shot. That was someone else's, and that's kill number 6. and there's just this Churchill Mark 7 left, but he is now getting flanked on all sides, and that is GG and the victory. So absolutely awesome game there from Jacksters and his platoon mates and the other medium tanks, just rushing the left-hand flank and then circling all the way around behind the enemy and catching them off guard for the victory. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Stick around because as always the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user, the QQ Moore. That's the QQ Moore, and he's driving the M103 on a standard battle on the fjords. M103 being a tier 9 heavy tank for the Americans. This thing leads straight on from the T32 and the T29, which are two pretty damn good heavy tanks. This thing's got pretty good frontal armor for its tier at about 200, and the angling on that is pretty damn nice, as you can see there. Unfortunately, the turret does have a huge weak spot, being the top of the turret there, the commander's hatch. Bit of a massive weak spot there, unfortunately. So this thing doesn't tend to be as safe as its counterparts, weirdly, but is still a pretty good heavy tank. So straight away, going to be heading to the centre of the map. You can see a lot of the Allied team heading up that far right-hand flank there. Not something that you see very often, especially from IS-3s and Tiger 2s. Don't generally see them heading all the way up the right-hand side. The rest of the team kind of heading over on that southern flank towards the little fjord area there, the little dogleg. And that leaves the platoon mates here in the IS-8 and the M103 to guard off the centre. Nobody really shown their face around here. Does see a Foch there, so going to plant one through the side of him. Able to get a good bit of damage on him. Not quite able to take his track out, so he's still out in the open and fully functional. Although he does take a little bit more damage, and it may be time for that Foch to decide that discretion is the better part of valor as he gets taken out by the IS-8. Should have carried on running really and just done a quick little left turn and headed back down that hill, but as it is, he stayed up to valiantly fight, and he valiantly died. Takes a hit there from something, not sure whether that was artillery or there's another player camping on that right-hand side. The IS-8 does a good job of also taking out the Centurion 1 there. Now they're going to sweep around and try and take out this IS-3, which is giving a little bit of hassle to the guys in the south there. As you can see, just coming around and planting one squarely in his face. Does take out his tracks, but QQ not going to waste a repair kit. He does have the reload and he's able to take out the IS-3 before he's able to get any damage onto that IS-8. Although the IS-8 is taking a hit from something. From the amount of damage that it's done, not really sure who that'll be. That may be the artillery focusing in on the area. Did have a quick shot at that Jagdpanther 2 there, but not quite able to land that one, as could only see the very top of his turret. They have spotted the artillery on that far left-hand side. The battle in the south looks fairly even, so just got to keep an eye on that one so it doesn't run out of control. Nobody's really punished this artillery yet, even though he's been spotted for an age now. IS-8 does finally take him out after QQ landed a good hit through his roof there. Does spot a T-44 making a run for it, and then takes out the T-44 making a run for it. Does also see a T-25-2 and just going to close down on him, and his gun reloads just in time to take him out, although the T-25-2 I think overcompensated with his turret and body traverse there and just overshot the mark. Well, it looks like it may have been a good idea that the Allied team sent so many tanks up to that right-hand flank to the northern area, because it looks like the enemy team had also concentrated quite a lot of tanks in this area. WZ-131 spots out the M103 here and decides that he's just getting the hell out of there because there's no way he's going to duel with a tier 9 heavy tank. Got the support of the IS-8, but he's a little bit far out, so he's going to have to be careful with this ST-1 just about now. Doesn't want to take too much damage from him. T-30 gets a Jagdpanther 2 coming over the hill. in an effort to try and take him out, but doesn't realise that the T-30 had support. And QQ takes him out after getting a beautiful shot to set him on fire, and that's kill number 4. This STI, or ST1 if you prefer, isn't having any of their shit, and he comes around the corner. Fires off a shot. I'm not sure if he hit anybody there. Does take a hit in return, but it didn't do any damage. He's now shooting at the IS-8 as he's a much softer target than this M103. And QQ and the M103 going to use this opportunity to try and flank around the side of this ST1. If he can get the ST1 to turn his front armor onto himself, that's going to give side armor to the IS-8. And if he doesn't turn front armor onto the M103, then the M103 is going to punish him. Not that it was necessary, as he punishes him anyway. And that is the stragglers in the northern flank all dealt with now. So the enemy team did put enough tanks up here to win that battle in the first place, but it looks like the Allied team coming in from the south here, the guys who were guarding off the centre, came in just in time and did just enough to wear them down and take them out. Now it looks like that pretty even fight in the south has gone sour for the Allied team, and they've lost that one. You see they've got a T-71 capping and a Chi-Ri trying to battle with an AT-7. Now, I was going to say that's not a fight he should be able to win, but he wins it fairly handily and fairly quickly indeed. And now there's just this T-30 and this Tiger II for the Allied for the enemy team. Allies going to be closing in on them from all sides here. The Chi-Ri taking the long route around. QQ realising that he's not got the time to make a trip like that, not in a tank like this, so he's going to allow his ally, the IS-8, to hold their attention from the front. Still got a good hit point pool at 1,200 hit points there, so he's going to allow them to hold their attention as he comes around the back and plants a great shot into the back of the Tiger II. Doesn't fall back into cover because he knows that number 1, he's got the Chi-Ri in the rear for support, and number 2, he had more than enough hit points to just take a hit if necessary, and as it is, he's able to clear up the T-30 in the end there and pick up a well-deserved kill number 6 and a Top Gun medal. So that was 5,500 points of damage, 6 kills, Top Gun medal, and a great game there from the platoon, the Allied platoon. So awesome replay there from QQ Moore. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just found it entertaining, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and leaving me a like or comment. This has been World of Tanks. My name has been Maxwell, and I will catch you guys next time.